And we are live.
Hi, everybody. Oh my God.
What
Hello,
up? I'm
hello,
gonna turn
hello.
this a little bit.
Ooh, ooh.
Oh, that way. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can see the book collection.
And the piñata. Where is it right there?
Oh, the
The
Lupiñata.
piñata from
Oh,
this last Sunday.
we should have left that as like, what is those games that if you can find it, you win something?
I spy, right?
I spy. I spy. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. I know it's been a minute since we've got on, but we've been busy with, life and different things. But we're here. And even though you don't see us, we continue to post and we'll tell you about a challenge. We'll tell you about a challenge that we did and we learned a lot. And we've been
Yeah.
going, and you haven't seen us, but we've been going through some trainings. And Daniel and I
Some
have been
education.
some education. We've been studying and staying up to date. And thank you for staying up. I know it's late for some of you. Thank you for staying with
Nine
us
o'clock. Not
and
too bad.
watching for a little bit. This will stay recorded. This will stay in our page so you can see it later and review it and take notes. But
So shout out to everybody in Social Love. We are live in Social Love right now. We're live on my personal page and your personal page. So
yes,
wherever
sir.
you're watching, thank you so much. Leave a one if you're watching on the replay. If you're live, just shout out to us and we will communicate with you live. So yeah,
Yes.
we've been gone for a minute. There's just been I know I'd made a video earlier this week for Social Love members, kind of explaining that I've been working on some stuff that I tried to do a different strategy and it didn't work out and I
Learning.
got
It's
I
all
got
about learning.
yeah, it's learning progress. And I'll be honest, I got a little stuck, and then I decided to undertake this challenge that I was challenged by my mom, and it worked out. It honestly worked out. So
You want to talk
we
about
we
it for
can yeah, we can talk a little bit about it. So what had happened is that I was trying to come up with a different way. Then there's a thing that we can talk about later is I was overthinking content creation. I was overthinking making content. I was overthinking channel stuff. I was overthinking what to do here live, what to do, what not to do. And I was just thinking of different strategies because it's content creation is not everybody can do it, but if you can do it, you can do it incredibly well. If you can do it incredibly well, it's a life changer. So one of the things that I was going through is I was overthinking it and I got stuck.
stock.
And I was just overthinking. I was planning, 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 and never did anything, And it just came down to the point where my mom was just like, "Hey, I challenge you to do." Because most of you know, if you've been in Social Love or even with us for a
Yes.
minute, you know that we have our own individual warm up routines before we go live, before we start creating content, or whatever the
Hey,
case is.
good evening, family. Good
What
evening to
up?
you too.
What
Hello,
up? What up?
hello,
What
hello.
up? Your
Thank you
name
for
isn't your
watching
name isn't isn't populating in the it
on the
just says
comments.
Facebook
So,
user, but what's up?
you want to say you want to write your name? Hello, hello. Write down your name
What
so we know who
up?
it
Good
is.
evening. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
They want to show me. I'm gonna open my phone and see.
See if it is. Just put your name. See who it is, so we can say hello. So we can properly say hello to you.
But
Come on.
what I was talking,
Yes.
and while you do that, while you pull it up on your phone, what I was talking about was I got stuck and I was overthinking content creation because I
Eileen, hello, 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 hello.
what
Muchos
up?
besos y abrazos.
What
Muchos
up? What
abrazos y
up? What up?
besos.
What up? Yeah, I was overthinking content and I was just thinking about it too much and I let everything a lot of things get in the way. I was just it's that one thing and my you pointed it out when I was going through it. It's like you have so much information that it kind of like gridlocks you. Like you can know so much and you just stay stuck. You just stay in gridlock. And that was the thing. Like I'm like, man, I'm supposed to be out here, running Social Up and teaching everybody all these things and doing all these things. And I had so many strategies and plans that I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I was just kind of in this gridlock. And then I was just stuck. And then I was watching podcasts, I was reading things, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I just kept, you know, amassing information and not doing anything.
We
But
have Yuli. Uli. Hello. This is it spelled Uli? Uli. Hola, Uli.
what up? And so the whole thing is that I was stuck and then I just kind of started from scratch. Uh and then the challenge was given to me by my mom. She's like, I bet you to do 20 TikToks. Was it 20?
20
It was
TikToks.
20, yeah.
So the challenge was this. There's gotta, because you get stuck. Like when you study a lot and you plan a lot, you get stuck. And he was stuck. He was absolutely stuck. So let me get the there you go. Let me turn down here. So he was stuck. So I said, okay, we need to get unstuck you. Sometimes you just gotta act. You just gotta do it. You just gotta go for it. You just gotta do it. You can't think about it too much.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, so we're gonna do a challenge. You're gonna do what I asked him, what is your least favorite? Oh, that's what I told him. What is your least favorite platform? What is the platform that you have less people? That if you screw up, if they don't,
if you mess up, no one will notice.
Correct. What is that platform? And he said TikTok. Bingo. That's what you're gonna do. You are going to do 20 TikToks today, because it was a Saturday. It was a day. I tell you the day before.
No.
That's a day. Okay, in the morning. I told you in the morning. You're gonna.
No, it wasn't even in the morning. You told me hours, probably like 30 minutes before we went to that housewarming party.
Okay, so I said you have 20. You can do the challenge. Is you're gonna do tonight.
She told me
20 TikToks. They have to be original content. I'm not saying that you're going to do 20 TikToks, mimicking somebody else. You're going to do 20 TikToks, original content with your voice. Like whatever you say, whatever you do, and I said, and I gave them some questions. You can answer these questions. Like grab one of those little boxes that has a lot of questions and start answering questions from people. Or start, grab a question. What is your favorite holiday? And you talk about your favorite holiday. Use another one.
The whole thing was because we're like getting this in the cycle. The whole point was I had to figure out how to do 20 TikToks, and I just had to get in there and
tell them what the prize was.
I didn't. We bet. What do we bet? We bet food. We bet homemade Puerto Rican food. She's like, "What do you want? What's your favorite food? What we haven't?" Because our lifestyle now currently is like we just do a lot of stuff, so we're just always on the go. So we don't necessarily stop. But she's like, what do you want? And I was like, I haven't had, my favorite type of food is Puerto Rican food because that's what I grew up with.
Arroz con gandules y habichuela.
So I was like, Puerto Rican food, homemade Puerto Rican food. Like the whole thing. Arroz con gandules, frijoles, we did pollo frito with tostones, everything, the whole nine.
Patacones.
And I don't know what that is.
Tostones for, in other countries, they call it patacones.
Oh, patacones. So we bet that. And
I said, if you even go over, I'll do your second favorite, which is super ultimate nachos.
Nachos. I'm a big nacho fan. So what ended up happening is
mofongo de pollo.
Yeah.
Mofongo de pollo. That's good.
So, and it was like, we had this housewarming party to go to. And I'm like, dude, how am I going to do it? And she told me, she's like, you have until midnight. I only had 5 hours?
Yes.
I only had 5 hours to do 20 TikToks.
Ulises Vargas dice Puerto Rico. And he says, I want Clarissa, hola, ¿cómo estás? She says she wants some. All right. Y luego, entonces.
So I had to do, I think it was, I calculated five TikToks an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do 5 TikToks an hour. Mm-hmm. And it only had to be original content. I couldn't do, because on TikTok you can do, you can stitch, or you can do voiceovers, or you can do, different things. And so she was like, it has to be all original content. So I got in there and I started batch recording, and I was just like, I was in there, I was locked in, and we had to go to this party. And so, and you can attest to this, I did a bunch, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do a bunch before we go to this party. And then I'm going to just be sitting there uploading
and editing,
and doing very minimal edits. What I figured out was,
Aileen puso la bandera de Venezuela. Venezuela in the house.
Is that Venezuela?
Yeah, Venezuela.
No, that's Cuba.
It's Cuba. Aileen no eres cubana. Aileen es venezolana.
Isn't that the Cuban flag?
Anyways.
Sentiment received. Thank you for the comments. We appreciate it. So I was sitting there just trying to knock it out. And what I realized is that when I was in that moment, I was just like, I couldn't think about anything. And it's not that I was like, I need this food or I'm gonna die. I just needed a goal to fix on. I just needed something to go out there and get. I needed a goal, and that's what got me unstuck
Yeah.
because I had to figure out what my motive. And we talked about it before. You're like,
Yeah.
what motivates you? Was it money? Is it whatever? And I'm like, I'm not a person that's motivated by money. I'm not a person that's motivated by things like that. I was like, if
It was a challenge
it
and you
was it
took
was
it.
honestly it was the challenge, and I'm like, can I do it? Can I do 20 TikToks in about 5 hours? And I did 23. I did 23 in that whole time. I did about 23 TikToks, and we still went to the party. I mean, I wasn't like hermited in the corner with my phone, just trying to. I was still engaging in the
Yes.
party and doing the whole thing. I mean,
Hi Mario. Hello, hello,
what up, what
hello.
up, what up? And so I was there, and it was in fact we were we were hanging out with Mario. I was sitting there just like uploading all these TikToks and getting everything done. And then so once we got back home, I knocked out the rest of the TikToks and ended up being like 22, 23. So 22, I think, because two of them got taken down. But
And that
yeah,
was a way. So that helped you
get unstuck.
unstuck. And sometimes overthinking everything, and that's one of the things that as content creators that we face is that we study the techniques, we know what we want to say, but to push that button and record, it's the craziest thing. That's
It
just
it feel it can
from
feel
recording to,
impossible.
yeah, it feels like a long journey. But if content creation is what you want to do and your message is what you want to get out, whether it be your message that you of overcoming, of inspiration, if you have an educational channel that you want to start recipes, whatever is it that is in your heart that you want to share through your Facebook, through your TikTok, through your Instagram. Sometimes that hitting that button to start to record,
It feels
it
impossible.
feels, yeah. And we're talking to content creators. If creating content for social media is not your thing, that's fine. But at least you'll get an understanding of what creators go through, because as we're gonna talk about earlier,
And so I kind of want to interject and
yes,
then just kind of redirect, because we say a lot of times a lot of people will use the term influencer, right? Online influencer, social media influencer, and people think most of the majority, including myself, including ourselves, when we say influencer, we think, oh, people with their phone, like, oh, yo, what's up? I'm here, Starbucks, or oh, yo, just hiking the Grand Canyon, almost lost my leg, that's what we think influencers are.
self-involved
and
people.
and and it's not even just self-involved, because there's influencers who create content like for brands, social
Yes,
media influencers, things like that, and that's not a bad thing. The type of thing that we want to teach with Social Up, the type of things that we're all about teaching, is we're not trying to teach you to be a social media influencer. That's not what we're trying to do. Now, you can entertain, you can do that, do lifestyle vlogging, do lifestyle influencing. That's great, that's perfect, that's fine. But what we're teaching is what's this new shift, and this new shift in technology, this new shift in the world, really, that we've been seeing for a while, that most people have been seeing. And we're trying to
get
get
ready.
people to stop being influencers and be entrepreneurs.
Yes,
So, and that's the thing that we've been adamant about. We're not here teaching you how to be a YouTuber. We're not here teaching you how to be an Instagram model. We're not here teaching you how to be a professional TikToker. We're not here teaching you how to do any of that. What we're teaching you is how to create great content that you can take to any platform. So whether it be Facebook, whether it be Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever the case is, we're teaching you the tools and that to get there. And that's one of the things that I had to get through and figure out. And I was having this conversation with you earlier, and I got some information that I kind of want to share with you guys. And it's primarily what we're going to be talking about today, which was
who is creating content?
not just who's
Mhm.
creating content, because we're teaching people how to become content entrepreneurs, and that's really who's creating content. So we want to talk about who's creating content and who should be creating content. I want to answer that second question first. The second question: who should be creating content? Anyone who wants a small business that doesn't require you having another boss. a small business, and I'll explain what I mean by small business. I'm not saying, oh, I got to start a business in logistics, or, I have to kind of reprogram your understanding of what a small business is. And we'll get to that in a second. But content entrepreneurs, content creators, content entrepreneurs should be people who want to treat content as a small business. And it's way more viable now than it has been before. It's insane. A lot of the stuff that I've been talking about and researching and reading is just like the shift is coming, and churches are in it,
Yeah,
brands are
absolutely.
getting into it, like literally everybody else. We were talking about it earlier, like YouTube and all these other platforms are coming for cable companies. Like a lot of things are shifting, and it's cool because now is the time to do it. So we'll start off with who is creating content. And so there was a study by there's this media company called The Tilt, and their main thing is talking about content creators and doing research for content creation, and kind of taking note of like bigger content creators or content entrepreneurs that are really shifting the game and changing things up. So they went out and they took a pool of content creators, and so what they did is they kind of started asking them questions and figuring out data on these individuals. And so one of the things they start off with saying is the same thing that I was saying: don't call them influencers, call them entrepreneurs, because they're building a business. They're making the business out of their content, and it's thriving so much that the creator economy is changing. Is now being more viable. You can now take out small business loans to be a content creator.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Like you can now put all your data together and try to go get a loan for your content creation, for your cooking with Maria at home. You can do that.
Yes.
Like it's insane. And let me I'll pull this graphic up. But so in this survey, they pulled out information and all this data from different people who are creating content. And so the way you can think about it is that these small creators, such as ourselves, the way they're making their content into a business is like they're creating their own media company for themselves. And that's how everything's getting processed. So like when it comes to all the business side of it, you can treat it like a media company. And that's kind of what we're doing. So of those surveyed, 40% are Gen X. Okay, no surprise. While 32% are millennials, with baby boomers being 23% and Gen Z are 5%. And these people are creating businesses. Let me pull up this graphic so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So you can kind of see it here. So this is the people that they studied, and they asked them, are you creating content? Are you doing it full time versus part time? How are you treating your business? Because that's what they asked them. Are you doing this as a business? Are you doing this like what's the whole point? So you can see gray, gray, gray is boomer,
Yes.
unfortunately. And right here, this middle black section being the biggest component is Gen X. Shout out to Gen X.
Woohoo.
And so we'll get into the study a little bit more. What they came to find out is that this demographic specifically is not only the most profitable, but they're seeing the most people jump to full time creation out of everyone that was surveyed. And then right behind them is millennials, and then before that um, is Gen Z. And so the question that I was asked was two things: are you treating this as your business? Are
Correct.
you pushing it as a business? And are you full time versus part time, meaning like a side gig? Like you got a full time job and you're doing this on the side to build your content to run your business. 52%,
Wow, that's crazy.
52% of everybody surveyed, that's every across every generation, 52% saying creating content, their content business, their content creation business, they're doing it full time. That's full time. They've replaced the entire income and they're doing it full time. That's crazy, wouldn't you say?
That sure is. That sure is.
And so there's some more data in that, but I just kind of wanted to talk about that for a second because I was talking with my cousin, and I was telling him, I'm like, dude, the world's changing
Oh
because
yeah.
he's had some um he's currently in a place in his life where he's trying to figure out what he's trying to do. And I'm like, hey, I've been there. And I'm like, bro, you're 26. It's okay if you don't know what you want to do in life. I'm like, I'm 30, gonna be 32, and I just figured out what I want to do in my life. It's okay. But I told him, this world is changing. We live in a time and place now that it feels like we can pull money out of thin air, and it feels like we can get it done.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's one of the reasons why we are adamant about, we know what we want to do, and we know what we want to talk about, and we want to create, and we want to create the space for all those, and this is where I'm going to take a moment to talk about
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this training that we're going to have. So stay tuned, because we're going to announce free. The word is 99. Como es 99 free? Como 99 cent free, or I don't know. There was a saying like that. But it's going to be a free training via Zoom. And we're going to take all of those of you, all of you guys that want everybody that that's interested in starting, or they don't know what to do or how to start, but they want to do content creator, they want to make money. I was excited because I'm starting to get paid by Facebook.
Yeah.
So that's a process,
and it's a thing too, because like you can I read further in the studies, just trying to get in the 52% that are doing it full time. They made content creation a business, but the other 42%, or the other 40 some odd percent, they're using that content creation to support their other businesses. So like there's people, and I've shown you, like there's people that, like, namely, there's this guy that I watch on YouTube. He reviews tools that he uses on his job sites, and he's at the point now where the manufacturers that he reviews pays for his tools that he uses on his job site. So he's never, for like the last, I think, like 3 years, he hasn't had to pay for tools that he uses professionally.
It's amazing what the technology and what's out there and what's available. You just have to find your way. You just have to find what is it that you want to share.
And we're here to help with that. Honestly,
and that's our goal. That's our goal. That really, what are you guys doing? What are you guys talking about? Is our heart's desire.
Can I sum it up in 2 words?
Yes.
Create creators.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's all.
We want to create creators.
And you're like, what do you get out of it? If you want to help other people start their podcast, if you want to help other people start their TikTok, what do you get out of it? It's the satisfaction of seeing you become a creator. And like, I think it's Zig Ziglar that said, if you want to succeed, you got to help others succeed.
Absolutely.
You have to help others succeed. So we want to help other people. That's why we are out there studying. We are out there doing it.
Getting all this information.
You have seen me grow my account.
Yeah.
You have seen me. That's one of the things that I tell people. I mean, if I can do it at 50, I'm some year old woman, can get online and grow an account and start making money from Facebook, you can do it too. I mean, you have the tools, and it's free. You can start, and you just have to be creative.
Everyone's got a phone. All these accounts, all these social media accounts are free. I've never had to pay $1 or a cent to join TikTok. I've never had to pay to join Facebook. I've never had to pay to join YouTube. You know?
Yes. Somebody said I'm too shy.
Oh, shy.
Oh, that's. Let me tell you.
Do ASMR.
Let's see. I'm too shy. That's okay, because let's say there are YouTubers out there making money and they don't even show their face.
Oh, 100%.
They don't have to show you their face. They do cooking, and it's all about the cooking. They're knitting. It's about the knitting. They do crafts. So they never show their face. All they do is just do whatever they're good at it, and take pictures of that.
There's a guy. His name is Dining with Babish. I don't know if you've ever seen him. He's like one of the bigger. I'm gonna see if I can pull up a video. But Dining with Babish, if I remember correctly, for the longest time, he never showed his face because he was too shy about showing his face.
Yeah.
He's got a huge. Only just recently, he started showing his face.
And when you're one of the things that is also, when it comes to being shy, and you get shy in front of the camera, and people say, "Ay, Maria," like they tell me, if I tell you I'm very shy, you're not gonna believe me, but I am. I'm really reserved.
Me too. I don't.
I'm really like, we're really reserved. I am really shy, except once you start doing it over and over and over again, you learn how not to be shy. You learn how to be confident in the camera. And one of the things that is it helps you being confident is when you talk about something that you
You're
know.
passionate about.
When you
Yeah.
when you ask somebody to talk about, let's say they love eggs, but if they're professional, if they love eggs and they know everything about eggs, you just see them light up and they'll tell you when they're confident and
Would you like to know about my huevos?
yeah, Daniel, you're gonna get it shut down.
I'm just saying.
So, but they talk. So talk
So
about when you're
as you're
confident.
talking, I'm showing. I think it's
Oh yeah,
binging
yeah,
with
yeah.
Babish.
So there's an example right there.
His content has changed as of late, but primarily this is what he was doing before.
You don't see him there.
You don't see his face. I mean, this is some of his newer stuff. So eventually he does show his face because he got more. He built that confidence, but primarily this has been his style. Like he's doing this whole date night recipe or whatever, and he doesn't really show his face. I mean, it's changed as of late. Like, namely when when he started. I'm trying to.
What is that? What is that YouTube or TikToker? It's man and a pan. He's in the woods. He's in the woods cooking, and it's all rugged. And
I know who you're talking about.
He don't show his face or anything. He don't show his man cooking in the woods, man with a pot, or something like that. And he don't, and that's and you don't see them. So there we go. So Daniel's gonna put a little bit of clip of that so you can see. That's somebody else who's shy, I'm sure, and you don't see his face, but he is. I mean, he's killing it on YouTube, making money, and it's like that's crazy. So you can put it in there.
I'm trying to see what is. He's currently at 700,771K subscribers.
Wow.
So this literally proves you can be a woodland hermit and still create
Because he's telling it. Look at this.
Oh, the dog! I didn't see the dog.
Look
you a
at that.
dog. Get you a puppy. It's great for content.
If you haven't killed one. So there we go. Look at that. What he's making there.
I don't know. We can watch this later.
Oh, he's making like a Christmas tree. But you see, oh look, he moved the video, but you don't see that person at all.
You don't see his face.
So and there's a lot of things like that. If that's the route you want to go and create YouTube, have a YouTube account, and
being shy is okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's I know with me, I had a very hard time. Like you can actually go back through my content and see some of the first live streams that I did. I would have my microphone too low. I would be like, "Hey guys, we're gonna make some stuff right here," and it was just this thing, and it's very, it can feel very daunting. It can be very, but that's the trick. You nailed it on the head. Find what is it when passion meets proficiency?
Yes,
that's your.
Is it you got to talk about what you know? You've got to talk. That is a secret when it comes to content creation. When you build your channel, when you do a TikTok, when you're responsible to bring information. Remember, I don't know if you guys have seen it. If not, go to our social up. And go ahead and get into that group, because I always, talk about either you educate, you entertain, or what is the other one? You educate, you entertain, and you inspire. Those are the three things that you have to have when you create content. You entertain, you educate, or you inspire. So if you are doing those things, and if you are a person that likes to inspire, that you have gone through a lot and you know so much, you inspire people, you motivate people to do that. That's your thing.
And one thing I kind of want to interject and talk about too is one thing that I had to deal with is whenever I thought about content creation, immediately the first thing that I would think about, I compared myself to those unicorn accounts.
Oh, you want to explain what unicorn accounts are?
So like a unicorn account or unicorn user are those special cases where they have super massive platforms and they have super massive followings, and they just do a thing. That's not the norm. You don't need 10 million, 5 million, 6 million, 2 million, 3 million subscribers to make a living off of this.
Correct.
Right? I mean, we're nowhere near that, and we're getting ad revenue money. That's the thing. It's the idea of the seed is there. And it's the perfect time because I had talked to that with a couple other people. They're like, "Oh, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do." I was like, "Think about it like this." So I sold car. I used to sell cars, right?
Noemi Delgado, you guys are amazing.
Hey,
Oh, Noemi, thank you so much. You are amazing. You too.
finger guns, finger
Woo,
guns,
woo, woo,
finger
woo.
guns. So
I want Noemi would be great in the podcast.
I
She would
need,
be
I need,
great.
I
Her and her
need, I
husband
need. Have you
has
heard their
stories.
story?
You guys
Oh
have
my god,
stories.
dude!
Maybe you guys.
She would not to put your business out in the streets, but she was telling me she was like, yeah, we were in love from a very young age.
They
Man,
have a good
I
story.
wish I had a love. I know every couple has their struggles and all that stuff, but I wish their love
I
story
like
just
it.
doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
they're one of a kind.
It's crazy. She was like, I used to live in this hood and he was in the opposite hood. Like we were talking about, I think Saturday, and then we had to sneak out when the gangs weren't prevalent. And I was like,
They
yo,
have stories. It's
I was like,
good.
what? And then so like them in the church, it's crazy. It's crazy. I love
Great.
them.
I mean, they would great because they're raising kids. They're very
Yeah.
young. They're very they're going through stuff like everybody else, and they could be sharing their story. And they're serving God. They're in church. They're a great example.
They both work super hard.
They work super hard. My respects, and they're so young.
Yeah.
And Noemi can sing.
Yeah, she
Woo!
can.
That girl can sing.
She can.
She can sing.
She can.
Woo! So all of that, you see, they have a lot to share. Let's say they started a podcast, and let's say
Yeah.
they talked about kids and raising and stuff, and
I would
they
follow
talked
them. I
about-
don't got kids, but I would
yes,
follow them.
I would follow
Just
you
for the stories.
Yes, for the
Just
stories.
for the stories. It's
Mhm.
crazy. And
She said, Noemi said, "LOL, I will stick
to my
to my-
mukbangs.
What's that?
Mukbangs, those are when people eat like a bunch of food in front of a camera.
You
never
want to
seen-
do that? You want to do that? She says she's too pretty to do that. She's just like when you cook a lot and you just eat.
Hey man, listen,
Is it like
invite
is it
me over.
ASMR?
Kind of, it's like one of those not gray areas, but it's kind of ASMR because like my mom can tell you I get violent around ASMR. I can't stand it. Just like mouth juices and stuff. I'm like, but I will watch a mukbang.
So what's the difference?
I don't know. No, mukbang is more about the food. So like particular.
Like you don't hear all the scratchy.
No, you
noises.
still. Yeah, it's not like super like that. I can't stand. But like if the sounds of somebody eating doesn't trigger me. Does that make sense? I don't know how to explain it, but it's like
Cool.
it's because it's kind of like okay. So you remember the Food Network?
Who said? Somebody said, "You guys make it look easy." Where
Oh, it's because we failed a lot.
Yes, we make it
failed
look
a lot.
easy. It's because you know what? We just have
We failed a
done
lot.
it,
We failed a lot.
and we are okay with making mistakes. We are okay. Oh yes, it's all about. Noemi said,
Yeah,
yes,
it
it's
is.
all
So,
about the
so
delicious
back to the
food.
more important mukbang situation. Mukbangs, the particular mukbangs that I like are like basically so like you remember the Food Network shows
Yes,
when they were like, hey guys, like barefoot contestant, she's like, what's up?
Yes.
We're gonna add 72
Yeah.
sticks of butter and we're gonna make cookies, right?
yes,
You know how they would make all the food
yes,
and then they would eat it after?
yes.
Yeah, it's like that without all the talking.
Oh, okay.
So
okay,
so
okay.
the mukbangs that I like, there's this one
Okay.
Korean guy where he owns like a shop thing and he makes all this food. So you watch him make all the food and then he eats it. And then that's it.
God. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, nice.
Listen,
right.
if you have a mukbang, invite me because
Mhm.
I will buy a shirt to dirty just for that.
Well, Noemi, you see, you can start like she said, you can start a channel.
So you can do whatever.
She can make cook-a-line and all the kids eat and they talk about their
Like,
day.
have you ever
see,
seen Grandpa's
we will
Kitchen?
create your channel. We will help you. That's what we are good at, like content.
Yeah,
creator.
yeah.
That's our job. That's like can be our calling. Create.
That's our passion.
It really
Create
is.
creators, honestly,
Create
because
creators, yes.
because we've time and again. It's funny because
Noemi says,
sometimes
got you.
I got you. So sometimes I've seen it, and we'll go back to the we'll go back to them. You guys make it look too easy because there's something I want to say about that. And it actually goes in line of like why we are doing this, why we want to do this, as it's our passion because I know you do because I see it sometimes, but I feel like a crazy person when I see somebody
Yes.
who can bring so much
Oh,
value,
yeah.
who's
Yes.
you're just like, dude, if you can just
If you could just
like, I don't know what I got to do. I have to get you high and put you in front of a camera,
like you would like you see the talent.
and I'm just like, bro, like that's the
Uh-huh.
thing. It's like I could listen to you talk about stuff for hours. Like, and I'll use Adam, Noemi's husband, as an example. I could listen
He
to
has
that dude tell,
stories.
like when he told us that story about the hard boiled
Yeah,
egg,
no, no,
bro.
no,
I was so
no.
invested. I was so invested.
We signed a, what's he
And
say?
then an NDA,
Non-disclosure.
an
So we can't
NDA.
talk about that, but it's really
Anyway, I'll
good.
just leave it. There's a hard boiled egg story, and I was so enthralled, dude. Like
They were telling a good
I was
story.
just like, and then, like it was just like there's so many different things. Like it's everyone has like a tío or tía or like a friend that they could make anything sound good. Like they can make going to the store sound exciting.
There's a level that once you start getting into content creator and content creation, and that you start recognizing the talent in other people.
And that's where I got stuck. That's where I got stuck because I got stuck in the technical side of things, and that's where, and I think that's kind of the sentiment of when you're just like, hey, you make it look easy. The sentiment where I got stuck when I was telling you I got stuck, I didn't create anything for almost 2 months, and I got stuck because I got too technical about it. You know, it's like when you're nervous to go to a
You
party,
overthink it. You
and I
overthink
was
it.
just overthinking it, and it's just
Overthinking
like,
it.
just tell a story. This is it. Just tell a story. Just tell a story. It's kind of like the only thing I can equate it to, the way I felt, is like, you know, when you're gonna go out with the family, or you're gonna go out with, you want
Oh,
to show the whole internet of how much ice you got in your tumbler.
sorry.
Jeez, shaking that stirred over.
It's like,
You're like,
turn the podcast into an
yeah,
ASMR.
I know. I was like, we're gonna have a mukbang, dude. I forgot what I was saying. Oh, like you know when you're getting ready for a party and you're like super nervous, you're like, when I get there, I'm gonna talk to this person, I'm gonna grab this,
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat that food, I need to take the thing,
Mm.
and you get there and none of that happens.
Yes.
That's but you have a really good time. That's what content creation is.
And this
You
is
get too formal about it, and you're just like, listen, I'm just gonna jump in front of a camera and say some stuff.
and this is where it's good to have somebody that will help you, somebody accountable to, a kind of like a coach, kind of like a person you go to. Hey, I'm stuck in this. So
Yeah,
when Nano was stuck in this area, it's like we talked about it. I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen you. I know you've been busy, but you haven't been creating. So what's going on? And he said, well, I know what to do. I know I have some plans. Okay, so let's do this exercise. This exercise about 20 TikToks, and that's where we
20
started.
TikToks. Yeah,
And he did them, and it was just a matter of him getting to do it. So, and then it was my turn to do it. And for me, where I get stuck, I don't get stuck in the content creation part. I get stuck in the technical. So that's where I had to practice how to upload on YouTube, because I was like, I don't know how to upload a YouTube. Like we did the podcast. I don't know how to do a podcast, how to upload. I don't know how to turn the cameras. I don't know that all that technical side for me is like, so, and that's where I've been practicing. I've been learning how to do thumbnails. I've been learning how to edit with simple applications like InShot. I have been a simple editing software. It's out there. So you can get real fancy. You can get real fancy. You do amazing, crazy things, or you can do a simple and plain. Like I do things very simple, very plain, very duplicable. If I do it, 50-year-old
duplicable.
yes. I'm 50, 100 years old, and I can
100.
I'm 50, 100 years old, and I can do a simple
So
YouTube.
I'll give you an example.
What?
Have you ever heard of Grandpa's Kitchen?
No.
It was this like 70-year-old Indian man that cooks for his entire village.
Oh yes.
He passed away, I think, last year.
He don't even talk. He just cooks.
No, yeah, he says like one or two things. He's like, and now we mix con su mano entre todos los vegetales. My dude, you better watch that. He does, but like he does, he does, dude. He's like mix well, and he's like, I'm like, ugh. And then he washes them. Like, oh, thank God, I don't want to eat fingernail juice. Pero like I forgot what I was saying. No, so it's that's the thing. There's no limit. There's no cap. It's you don't have to be interesting. You just have to be
Likeable.
consistent. You don't even have to be likable.
You just have to be, como se dice, real.
Yeah, honesty goes so far on any platform.
What is
That's
that? What is
why.
that lady que dice de mi casa a tu casa, de tu rancho?
Oh, de tu rancho, de mi rancho al tuyo, something like that.
Sí,
That's the name of
de mi
her.
casa, de mi rancho a tu casa. And
Yeah, that's the name of her channel.
she has, oh my God, the simplest person in the world.
Yeah, she has a wood
Yeah.
burning stove, dude. She doesn't even have
But she
gas.
cooks. Y los frijolitos, y los tomatitos, y las tortillas. Y, I don't know, that's just good stuff. Good stuff.
And
Good
the
stuff.
thing is, it's one. I think it might have been Sean from Think Media that said, "Your vibe finds your tribe, or your
Yes.
tribe, your vibe gets your
Your
tribe."
tribe will find your vibe.
Oh,
And let me tell you that. Let me
Pastor
tell.
Jason's like, "Do you need a niche?" I was just
Yes.
building to that. That's exactly where you're going. You're right. You're
Yes,
right.
you do
Sobre
need.
el dinero, right on the money. Get it?
Yeah.
Sobre el
So
dinero.
el dinero. But yes, the answer is yes, you do need a niche.
So the niching down works so well
Yes.
that it makes the content for you.
Yes.
I don't know if that makes sense. It's like, for example,
Can I say something on that?
yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Oh, you have a lot of experience with this
Yes.
too.
Yeah, I have.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something. Where's the camera? Where's the camera? The niche. The niche is very simple. You know yourself more than anybody else, so you have to find what you like to do. If what you, for example, Pastor Jason, he's great at motorcycle stuff and he likes to ride and stuff. And then he gets inspired and he's done a couple of lives
The motorcycle.
with a
When he
motorcycle
rides,
when he
yeah.
rides, and I'm mesmerized. I have no idea about motorcycles, but the simplicity of that draws me, and I want to see more of that. So you have to find what you are good at, what
What you like.
inspires you,
It's honestly,
and
it's what you like.
people will find you. People will find your. That's exactly what your tribe, which is the people, will find your tribe will find your vibe. So in other words, you do what you love, what you like, what you're good at. People that are supposed to be following you, they will come and find you. They will hear your
Yeah.
voice. When you, for example, me, if I try to preach, if I try to talk to a lot of people and try to reach everybody, I'm not. But let me talk to a 50-year-old woman that has been divorced, that has gone through cancer, that has had to rebuild her life. If I start talking about that, which is what I know, women are going to start, coming to me and hearing and hey, I heard you. Hey, I heard your voice. I heard your message. I heard what you said. I heard your TikTok. Hey, I resonated with that funny TikTok. So what's going to happen? They start following me. And that's my niche. Those 50-year-old women, those women that gone through, not necessarily 50-year-old, they could be women that have gone through divorce, women that have gone through cancer, women that have gone through something. They hear me talk and they say, you know what? There's something about you that draws me to you to hear what you're saying. Then there's people that I can't stand you. I can't stand your voice. I can't stand your accent. I mean, she thinks she's all that and bag of chips, and they just don't like me, and that's okay. They, that's okay. I'm not watering money. I don't have to be liked by everybody. But what I'm saying is there'll be people. And if all those people out there, I find 1,000 women that like and need what I have to say, that's my niche. That's my tribe. Those are my people. And every time I post for them. Every time I talk, I talk to them. Every time I share a content, it's for them. I create for them. I find information for those women. I help them. That's my niche. What's going to happen? They're going to follow me. They're going to come to me, and then we're going to help each other. I'm going to help them create. I'm going to help them, move to the next step in their life. I'm going to help them, and then what's going to happen? And they're going to consume my content, and then it's a give and take. They help me, I help them, and that's just like Zig Ziglar said, when you help others succeed, you will succeed.
So I kind of want to go back to that you said 1,000, right?
Yep.
So don't underestimate the power of 1,000, right? All you need is 1,000 people. I'm currently working my way there. You're currently working your way there. And some of the trainings that we did, in one of the trainings they talk about the power of 1,000. Now imagine, if you will, full-time you're a content creator, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're creating content. How much money, what is the monthly budget for you to live like you want to live, right? What just like just humor me for a second. Just think about that. For me, I was just like, oh, if I want to do that, if I want to do that, I'm like, I'm gonna make 70,000. No, okay, cool. Realistically, break it down. And I had this conversation with my cousin. I'm like, could you live off of he's a single 26-year-old, car note, all this stuff. Okay, cool. I was like, if you could make $4,000 a month, $3,000 a month,
In additional, yeah.
if you can make 3 grand a month, just the 3 grand a month, could you live off of that? He was like, I could do that. I was okay. Could you make four grand a month? That's a month, every month, like clockwork. If you make 4 grand a month, would you be cool with that? That's a grand a week. And he's like, I could do that. I could do that. I was like, okay. All you have to do is convince 1,000 people to spend $4 with you. Doesn't have to be the same people every month. So that power of 1,000 goes so far because that's the whole point of this. You don't need 5 million people. You don't need 10 million people to subscribe. I mean, yeah, there's different strategies to do that, AdSense, all that stuff. Okay. But we're talking about is changing the mindset from influencer to entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneur, they'll create a business, they'll create side businesses, and have multiple streams of income. That's what we're teaching. That's what our goals are currently are. And we're taking you along because we know the strategies, we know that, and we're building that so we can help you build it. And that kind of ties into our passion of why we want to do this. We want to help people because, and I'll give my personal history a little bit. I've been a creative professional for just about all of my adult life. I primarily worked with churches. I primarily worked with ministers and other organizations, nonprofit organizations, creating media, video, what have you. I don't want to do that anymore. Does that make sense? Like I don't want to do. I did it for so long, and I was just like, man, it's rough. It's not that working for churches is hard or whatever. What I understood in myself is like I'm good in this area and I've never built anything for myself. And we talked about it, I talked about it with some of my close friends and stuff. And it's like it's hard working for other organizations because you'll never build anything for yourself. And then a lot of times for these other smaller organizations that I was working with, my paycheck depended on how well they did. Right? If even if my quality of work didn't waver, like I could work so hard, but my check depending on how they did. Does that make sense? So
Mm-hmm.
the whole idea for me was like, I need to find a way to take that power back. I need to find a way to take myself, take my livelihood out of, how do I say that? I needed to find a way to take my livelihood out of their mood swings, basically. And that was a struggle for a very long time. And I was like, man, I needed to figure out a way. I need to figure out a way. I need to figure out a way. And so that's when content creation, because I understood it like this: everything that I have, everything that I know, all the experiences that I have, somebody will find it useful. Somebody will want me to share that wealth of knowledge with them. It's not necessarily, oh, because I know how to do camera work. Okay, but what makes compelling video? What makes compelling narrative? What makes compelling everything, right? These are things I've learned over time. Like, I'm not going to do, let's say, a nonprofit church commercial the way I would do a TikTok. It's not going to work, right? On paper, those techniques are the same, but with the experience, you know, like, have you ever seen an awkward commercial? Like when those organizations try to get too hip, and you're like, this is weird. Like, you're just like, I don't like this commercial. They watch too many TikToks. You
Yeah.
know, experience is what gives you that deciding factor. And so what I understood was like, if I could figure out how to destroy gatekeeping for my wealth in my life, I can bring those strategies to other people who are struggling with that. And we live in such a time now that we've seen the cutting edge. We've seen so many people break off and find their own sources of income. It's crazy. It's insane. And people
Because
doing
there's
what they love to do.
Yeah, and that's what one of the benefits of being a content creator. There you have independence, you can make your hours, you pursue your passion, and it helps. It really really helps because once you do what you like and what you know, that passion draws you, and then it's just a really really good place to be at when you create the content that you want to consume, when you create the content
Hmm.
that you want to see others make. And that's where you have the fun. And there's a lot of types of content. Like we said, we talked about content that educates, content that inspires,
And
content
entertains,
that
yeah.
entertains. Those three things are the major forms of content that help each other. So we're going to wrap this up here in a few minutes, but first, we would like to tell you that we are going to be doing a Zoom training. And what this is if you want to start creating content, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to go, you don't know how to start it, you don't know what camera to use, you don't know.
We got you.
So we can help you,
We
because
got you.
I love doing the content creating part, and
I love the
Nano,
tech part.
he likes the tech part.
And we
So
talked. I remember the
we'll talk.
conversation we had.
Yes.
We're opposites. We're opposite ends of the spectrum. Like for me, you can be like, "Yo, what do I use for podcasts? What do I use to like? What do I use to all this stuff? All these tech things." I'm like, bam, 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 bam. I could rattle them all off. I'm like, "How much money you got? You could do this. If you got no money, cool. You could do this." I don't know how to grow a page.
And then, but if you want to know, okay, so what is my niche? How do I get my niche? How do I start? What do I say? I need confidence in front of the camera. I need what to say, how to start. That's me. So we're gonna do a little bit of training, and it's free. It's gonna be free. We're excited about that, and
I'm excited.
we're gonna do it
I'm
through
happy
Zoom.
to share all this knowledge.
And we're gonna do it in Spanish, and we will, because last time we did it in English, so this time we're gonna do it in Spanish. We have a lot of people that have asked us to please do that in Spanish. So I'm gonna take a few moments here and decirles que vamos a tener este entrenamiento en español. Yo sé que hemos tenido mucha gente que nos ha preguntado, nos ha dicho, hey, ¿cuándo pueden hacer este entrenamiento? Lo vamos a hacer por Zoom y lo vamos a hacer en español, así que pongan atención. Si quieren saber el día, la fecha, la hora y todo eso, tienen que inscribirse, tienen que ir a la página de Social Up, and right there we'll have all the information. Toda la información va a estar ahí para cómo empezar un canal, cómo empezar tu podcast, cómo empezar TikTok, Instagram, todas esas cosas, para cómo puedo yo, mi negocio, cómo puedo mezclarlo, empezar y todas esas cosas. Ahí vamos a estar y va a ser totalmente gratis. So,
Gratis por
gratis.
Zoom. Por Zoom.
Por Zoom.
Por Zoom.
Por Zoom.
So I kind of want to end on this last thing, which is, remember, we're talking about. I'm going to end with the benefits of being an entrepreneur, because that's kind of where we went with that, and just kind of the idea of being an entrepreneur, making your own money without, without, I guess, the hindrance of without trying to be limited or hindered by somebody else's vision, like your vision for what you have. And it's crazy because like it can be such an outlet. That's what I learned, that like you can have a full-time job, do your job, do all your thing, but then this can be a profitable outlet. Like, why not turn your hobbies into money? But one of the things I wanted to talk about is the benefits of being a content entrepreneur, a content creator. Be in this article, and I can put the article in the comments once we post this, because it's got a lot of great value in it. But in that same survey where they kind of figured out who's creating content, what age groups and all that, they also asked the same group of people, and they kind of categorize it, and they asked them, what are the benefits of content entrepreneurship for you, right? They're like, what are the benefits for you personally? These are the same people they asked that we're going full-time and all that. I'm going to pull it up right over here. Let me full screen it so you can read that. So right here, it says the benefits of being a content entrepreneur. At the very, 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 very top, they have independence at 78%. 78% of these people said independence is the best thing. It's the main benefit from that. After that, they're like, I get to pursue my passions. Right here, I get to pursue my passions. At third, 69% flexible work hours. They get to create content, do whatever they want to. Mind you, these are people who are going full time. Now, they said enjoy my work hours because they can do whatever they want. 59%, and I found it interesting, is like they wanted to challenge themselves.
Yes.
To challenge yourself, bro, like that's crazy. And then so like they're pretty even across his next ones, where it's just like they earn more creating content than they would at a traditional job. And I'm gonna bring it in here, bring us back in here. So right here, they say they get to earn more than a traditional job, and they get to choose where they live. They don't have to move for work. They don't have to relocate for work. They can live wherever they want, have full control over where they live and where they stay at, and still make money. They get more time with their friends and family, and then more time to pursue their hobbies. And then that's the thing, like you can turn your hobby into your niche. You can turn your
Mhm.
hobby into content. You can turn your hobby into money. That's that's the whole thing that we're doing. And what I found interesting is that the very, 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 very last place was prove myself to others. Right? Kind of the whole thing, oh, you can't do it. Well, I did it. But the biggest thing out of this whole thing is independence. And that's why I create content. I create content because I do it in mind of like I want to help other people find
I want to
independence.
help other
I want
people.
to help other people find their voice. I want to help
Yes,
other
their
people pursue
voice.
their passion because
Yes,
I
all of
can
that.
tell you
Yes.
time and again, even more so than money, even more so than anything, the biggest thing that really felt like it was soul crushing for me is I didn't get to pursue my passions. I had to like break off everything else that I was doing. Oh, hey Max. Hi puppy. Max, we're gonna make Max into a content creator. He's gonna pay all his puppy food
You can have one of this
with his
channel.
Instagram, with his channel called Max Sleeps. But yes, thank you so
Thank you so
much. I
much for
wanted to
watching.
end there because there's so many benefits, and the next time we'll kind of continue to talk about it more. But yeah, so I'll link this article because it's got a lot of great information. But that's the whole thing. Please, please, please don't miss out on this Zoom training that we're gonna have. We're gonna kind of go over just the basic stuff, and if you need more help, we'll kind of figure out kind of contact with you, get into contact to further get that done. Be expecting more stuff here on Social Up because we're going to be posting a lot of these strategies and a lot of these things that we've learned together. And you're going to watch us grow, and you guys are going to grow with us. So, anything else you want to say before we end the
Have a good
live?
night. Peace. God bless you. Stay safe.
Peace, peace, peace. Thank you so
Make
much.
comments. If there's anything that helped you, please make a comment so we can read it. We read all the comments. So write what uh
What ministry?
what ministered to you, what you liked, what you found interesting, you learned, do you have a question? Just write it in the comments and we will reply and we will make a video of it to answer your question, or
Absolutely.
we'll address it next time.
Yeah.
Woo, there you go.
So we'll be in further contact. Love you guys. Love you, love you, love you. Peace, peace, peace.
God bless you guys.